Guys, welcome to Project Vinay. Today is 4th Feb 2026 and today is day 3 of reading book to improve my communication skills. We are continuing this book, The Almanac of Nawal Ravikant, and so we read yesterday till 40th page, like 39th page, I guess. Yeah. So we are starting from 40th page. So let me start. Let's see, yeah. Find and build specific knowledge. Sales skills are a form of specific knowledge. There is such a thing as a natural in sales. You run into them all the time in startup and venture capital. When you meet someone who is natural at sales, uh, you just know they are amazing, they are good at what they do. There is a form of specific knowledge. Obviously they learn somewhere, but they didn't learn it in the classrooms setting. They learned probably in their childhood, the schoolyards, or they learn negotiation with their parents. Maybe some in genetics compound in DNA. But you can improve sales skills. You can read Robert Clealdin. I have to search this. C A sorry, Cildin. Yeah,
Cialdini.
Ciardini. So Robert Ciardini. You can go to a sales trainers seminar. You can do door-to-door sales. It is brutal, but will train you very quickly. You can definitely improve your skills. Specific knowledge can't be taught, but it can be learned. When I talk about specific knowledge, I mean figuring out what you are, what you were doing as a kid or teenager almost effortlessly. Something you didn't even consider a skill, but people all around you noticed. Your mother or your best friend grew up would notice. Uh, sorry Examples of what your specific knowledge could be: sales skills, musical talent with the ability to pick up an instrument, and observations, personality, you dive into things and remember them quickly. Love from a science fiction, you were into reading science fiction, which may you absorb a lot of knowledge very quickly. Playing a lot of games, you understand game theory pretty well. Gossiping, digging into your friends network, that might make you a very interesting journalist. The specific knowledge is a sort of this weird combination of unique trails from your DNA, your unique upbringing, and your responses to it. It's almost baked into your personality and your knowledge, then you can hone it. No one can compare with you on being you. Most of life is a search for who and what need you the most. For example, I love to read and I love technology. I learn very quickly and I get bored very fast. If I had gone into a profession where I were required to uh, tunnel down from 20 years into the special same topic, it wouldn't have worked. I'm in venture investing, which required me to come up to a speed very quickly on the new technologies. And I am rewarded for getting bored because new technology come along. It matches up pretty well and my specific knowledge and skill set. I wanted to be a scientist. That is where a lot of my moral hierarchy comes from. I view scientists as being at the top of the production chain for humanity. The group of scientists who had made a real breakthrough and contribution. Probably added more to human society. That I think than any single other class of human being. Not to take away anything from art of policies or engineers or business, but without scientists we would still be scrambling in the dirt, fighting with sticks and trying to start fire. Society, business, and money are downstream of technology, which is itself a downstream of science. Science applied is the engine of humanity. Corollary. I have to search this. What does it mean? Corollary.
Corollary.
Proposition that follows from and is often appeared to one of the already previously provided. Okay. Applied scientists are the most powerful people in the world. This will be the most obvious in the coming years. My whole value system will build around scientists, and I want to be a great scientist. But when I actually look back at what I was uniquely good at, and what I end up spending my time doing, it was more around making money, tinkering with technology, and selling people on things, explaining things and talking to people. I have some sales skill, which is a form of specific knowledge. I have some analytical skills of how to make money, and I have this ability to observe data, obsess about it, and break it down. That is a specific skill that I have. I also love tinkling with technology and stuff. All of this stuff feels like playing to me, but it looks like work to others. Uh, there are other people to who they thinks would be hard, and they say, well, how do I get good at being petty and selling ideas? Well, how do I good at get good at being petty and selling ideas? Well, if you are not already good at, or if you are not ready into it, maybe it's not your thing. Focus on the thing that you are really into. The first person to actually out my real specific knowledge was my mom. She did it as a aside, talking from the kitchen, and she said it when I was 15 or 16 years old. I was telling a friend of mine that I would to be astrophysicist, and she said, "No, you are going to be into business." I was like, "What my mom telling me? I am going to be in business. I'm going to be an astrophysicist." I can't spell it. Astropi. Sorry, Physi.
Astrophysicist.
Astrophysicist. My mom didn't know she talking about, but my mom knew exactly what she was talking about. Sorry, yeah. Specific knowledge is found much more by pursuing your innate talent, your genius, curiosity, and your passion. It's not by going to school from wherever it's the hottest job. It's not by going into wherever field investors say is the hottest. Very often, specific knowledge is at the end of knowledge. It's also suffered only now being figuring out, or is really hard to figure out. It's you are not 100% into it. Somebody else would is 1000% into it, will outperform you, and they are won't just outperform you, but you by a little, they will outperform you by a lot, because now we are operating the domain of ideas, compound interest, really applied and leverage really applies. The internet has a massive broadened the possible space of career. Most people hasn't figured this out yet. You can go on the internet and you can find your audience, and you can build a business and create a product and build wealth and make people happy just uniquely expressing yourself thoughts the internet through the internet. The internet enables any niche interest as long as you are the best person at it to scale out. And the great news is, because every human is different, everyone is the best at something, being themselves. And even tweet that is worth waving in, but didn't go into the how to get rich tweet storm. We very simple. What tweet storm was very simple. Escape competition through authenticity. Basically, when you are competing with people, it's because you are copying them. It's because you are trying to do the same thing. But every human is different. Don't copy. It's if you are fundamentally building and marketing something that is ex, uh, exten, extension of who you are, not sorry, no one can compete with you on that. Who's going to compete with Joe Rogan or Scott Adams? It's important it's important is somebody else going to come along and write a better Dill Brett? No. If someone is going to compete with Bill Watson and create a better uh, Kelvin and Hobbin hobbies, no, they are being authentic. The best job or neither uh, degrade, not degrade, decreased, degrade, not degrade. They are created. They are creative expression of continuing learning in free market. The most important skill for getting rich is becoming a perpetual learner. What does it mean? Perpetual.
Perpetual.
Perpetual, never ending or changing. Where I was, I forgot. Yeah, perpetual learning. You have to know how to learn anything you want to learn. The old model of making money is going to school for 4 years, getting your degree, and working as profession for 30 years. But things changing fast now. You have to come up to speed a new profession within 9 months, and it's obvious 4 years later. But within those 3 productive years, you can get very wealthy. It's important. It's much more important today to be able to become an expert in a brand new field in niche in 9 to 12 months than to have studied the right thing a long time ago. You really care about having studied the foundation, so you are not scared of any book. If you are going to library and there is a book you can't understand, you have to dig down and say, what is the foundation required for me to learn this? Foundation are super important. Basic arithmetic and numericals are way more important in life than calculus. Similarly, being able to convey yourself simple your ordinary English words is far more important than being able to write poetry. Having an extensive vocabulary or speaking seven different foreign language, knowing how to be perceived when speaking is far more important than being an expert digging digital marketing or clicking or click optim. wise. It's more important. Yeah, foundation or key. It's much better to be at 9 on 10 or 10 on 10 on the foundation than to try and get super deep into things. You don't need to be deep in something because otherwise you are being a mile away and inch deep and you are won't get what you want out of the life. You can only achieve mastery in one or two things. It's usually things you are obsessed about. Playing long term game, there is a diagram. So, yeah, playing long term game, all the returns in life wherever in wealth relationship or knowledge comes from compound interest. Playing long term game with long term people. You said all the returns in life where in the wealth relationship or knowledge comes from compound interest. How does one know if they are earning compound interest? Compound interest is a very powerful concept. Compound interest applies to more than just compounding capital. Compounding capital is just the beginning. Compounding in business relationship is very important. Look at the some of the top roles in society, like why someone is the CEO of a public company or margining billions of dollars. It's because people trust them. They are trusted by the relationship they were built, and the work they done has compounded this. They were stuck with the business and shown themselves in a visible and accountable way to be higher integrity people. Compound interest also happens in your reputation. If you have a sterling reputation and uh, sterling reputation and you keep building it for decades upon decades being with noticed, your reputation will literally end up being thousands of times more valuable than someone else who was very talented but is not keeping the compound interest in the reputation going. This is also true when you are working with individual people. If you are working with someone for 5 or 10 years, you still enjoy working with them. Observably, obviously you trust them and the little verbally or gone. All the normal negotiation uh, i- in business relation can work very simply because you trust each other. You know it will work out. For example, there and another angel in Silicon Valley named Eld Gill who I like to do deal with. I love working with Eld because I know when the deal is being done, he will bend over backwards to get me extra. Bend over backwards. He will always round off in my favor. It's the an extra dollar being delivered here or over there. If there are some cost to pay, he will pay it out of his own pocket and he won't even mention it to me because he gone so far out of this way to treat me so well. I send him every deal I have. I try to include him everywhere. Then I go out of my way to try and pay for him. Compounding in those relationships is very valuable. In sense don't matter, action do. Uh, that's why being ethical is hard. Intention doesn't matter by actions. Okay. When you find the right thing to do, when you find the right people to work with, invest deeply, sticking with it for decades is really hard. You make the return big in a relationship and in your money. So compound interest is very important. 99% of effort is wasted. Obviously, nothing is even completely wasted because it's all a learning moment. You can learn from anything. But for example, when you go back to school and 99 of the team papers you did books you read, exercise you did, things you learned, they are not really applied. You might have read geography and if you never use, you might have studied a language you didn't speak anymore. You might have studied a branch of mathematics you completely forgot. Of course, these are learning experience. You didn't learn. You learned the value of hard work. You might have learned something that went deep into your uh, psych. I can't understand this word. Psyche.
Psyche.
Deep into your psyche, and being a piece of what you are doing now. But at least when it comes to the goal oriented life, only about 1% of the effort you made paid off. Another example is all the people you dated until you met your husband or wife. uh, it was a waste of time in the goal sense, not waste in the exponential sense, not wasted in the learning sense, but definitely wasted in your goal sense. The reason say this is not to make some gibble comments about how 99% of your life is wasted and only 1% is useful. I say this because you should be very thoughtful and realize in most things relationship work even in learning. What you are trying to do is finding the thing you can do, go all in on to earn compound interest. When you are dating the intent, you know this relationship is not going to be the one that leads to marriage. You should probably move on. When you are studying something like geography or history class and you realize you are never going to use the information, drop the class. It's waste of time, it's a waste of your brain energy. I'm not saying don't do the 99% because it's very hard to identify what the 1% is. What I'm saying is when you find the 1% of your discipline, which it will not be wasted, which you will be able to invest in for the rest of your life and has meaning to you. Uh, Go all in and forgot about the rest. Should I read the next page? It's already 22 minutes. What's the time? One second, guys. It's 9 o'clock. So, I think it's enough. Intention doesn't matter. Action do. So yeah, I read today till page number 49. We started from 40. So one, two, three, four, 5 pages, I guess. Yeah. So what I learned from this till now by today's book, I learned. Actually, my brain was not here when I was learning. I don't know why. I just learned about compound interest. Like, basically, the author says to find the right skill which you want to give your 100%, and after finding the skill or your interest, uh, gi- like like forgot about other things and start focusing on that one thing and go all in. So and doing that skill every single day or practicing that skill every single day, it's going to build a compound interest and going to impact you in your life very much. So yeah, that's it for. Sorry for the camera angle, I don't know why it's like that. Yeah, nothing else special. So this is day 3 of being consistent to read this book. I don't know till how many days I'm gonna read this book. I will try to. I have to complete this book, but I try to consistent to record video every single day. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.